Hello guys. It's been a while since I've done like an updated prophecy fulfillment video, and I felt like the Lord was wanting me to do that because somebody was texting me. One of my awesome believer friends was texting me about certain dates, about things that have happened. So obviously we know things happened on Tu B'Shvat. He told me what cometh meant, which means just beginning, and the contractions were just beginning if you look at the root word. And that's the day that all those earthquakes happen in Turkey. So still be praying for those people because that was a terrible day. He also said February 15th was his completion day and his holy day. And a half crescent blood moon showed up over the Sea of Galilee, not scheduled. And then Jesus saves, calculated it mathematically. And according to the Bible signs in the heavens, it was Jesus's midnight cry. So for all who don't think Jesus is coming to get his bride, I'm going to tell you now, he's coming to pick up his bride because all these things are coming true. He told me January 27th and January 28th, he talked about Gog, Magog, Ezekiel 38 starting, meaning the players were forming. But it hasn't launched yet, he said. They were lining up the players. They were going to go after Israel. He said, watch the enemies fall. And then on February 16th, the earthquake happened in Turkey, which I talked about. February 19th, he said, new players formed in Gog. Turkey was defeated. And I thought he was talking about the Turkey earthquakes that happened on the 6th. But the next day, the 20th, another Turkey earthquake happened, as well in Syria and Lebanon on February 22nd. They all got earthquakes, and Iran took Turkey's place, like he said. And then, let's see, he told me missiles were going to hit, let's see, Gog started about to launch January 27th. Okay, yeah, so he said it's about to launch, and then like missiles hit in Iran, but they blamed it on Israel. So that was definitely interesting. He told me that on the 27th, and then literally hours later on the 28th, that happened. He told me Obama was going to be on CNN, and recently the press secretary called him the president because he said Obama was going to rise behind the scenes February 15th. I'm pretty sure that has happened because they've called him the president twice now on CNN. He was also on CNN for The Pursuit of Excellence. Okay, so there was a small earthquake in Kentucky, so I don't think that is the big one yet. But he gave me a warning for 9, 11, and 24 of February. And they had a small one on February 25th, but I don't think that's the one he's talking about. So I think that one's still to come. He told me on February 15th that the oil refineries were going to be blown up. And that happened. 3 pipelines of oil refineries blew up on February 23rd in Hawaii also. And the oil spilled, contaminating the water. He told me that February 9th, the Philippines were going to get an earthquake. And that happened on February 22nd. It wasn't a big one, so it's probably not the one he's talking about. Okay, so he said December 30th. Well, no, so that one hasn't happened yet. Let's see. He told me fire through the cities. So he started talking about fire through the cities January 12th. And the first train derailment happened February 3rd. But he was warning me for an entire month before any train derailments happened. He told me on January 7th, floods in Kelly were going to happen, and that happened on January 10th. He told me there would be high magnitude earthquakes January 16th, and that happened February 16th in Turkey and other places now. He told me missiles were going to launch February 19th at Israel, and that happened on February 22nd, and it just happened on April 6th. Snow, lots of snow coming. Now, I don't know if that's a snowstorm because he told me 5 feet in certain places in Canada, and that hasn't happened yet. So I think the major snowstorm is going to come for those places. Although they did just get another one recently. I don't know how much feet it was. He told me there was going to be a shift in the atmosphere. Told me on February 3rd, and then I saw that article on February 8th. Massive floods, he said he warned me on February 7th, 9, 11, and the 15th, and then they started happening on the 16th in places. He told me mudslides were going to, he warned me about them coming January 16th and February 15th, and they happened on February 20th. He told me sinkholes would come January 16th, and they started happening in February. So he likes to give lots of warnings. He said missiles were striking. So the meteor hit Texas, but what I find interesting is if you look up meteor, which he told me to look at that definition, there's a Russian missile named Meteor. I thought that was interesting. But he also told me the states, New York and Florida as well. And Florida got hit at that nursery plant and they blew up 5 acres. No one knows how that happened. Only God does. And then New York, Brooklyn hit a few days later with an explosion. And again, the media I don't think they understand what happened or not reporting it. And then he said, February 15th, my child, the drinking water will no longer be drinkable soon. The air will be hazardous to breathe in soon. And ever since then, there's been so many train derailments, explosions, chemical spills, all of that stuff making the air and the water bad. He told me the alien deception was going to increase rapidly on February 15th. The next day, the senator came out with articles saying, lock your doors, aliens are here, which we know those are fallen angels. He told me massive tornadoes in Texas on February 7th, and they happened March 2nd. He told me Kentucky tornadoes were going to happen February 7th, he told me, and they happened March 3rd. He told me Alaska was going to get hit with an earthquake on February 24th, he told me, and that happened February 27th. He told me, let's see, train derailments, no, hold on, New England church fire in New Jersey. He told me March 19th, and that happened recently. That happened like 2 days ago in Massachusetts. There was a huge church fire, and that's one of, the New England region. He told me there's going to be Ohio train derailment. He told me that on April 9th, and that happened today, on April 11th. He told me on fungus would be in Michigan, and that was literally, I believe that was literally 2 days ago or something, or April. I have to look at when it was. Let's see. Oh, April. No, that was April. I don't remember, but it was a couple days ago, but it happened today. There was an article out it was April 7th. He told me that in the morning, and April 11th, they put out the article talking about it on Fox News about fungus being there in Michigan. Riots in the street. Okay, guys, so he told me March 2nd, the wages were going to go up in France. And then he told me March 23rd that the riots in the street were going to happen in France. And then that happened March 31st because the wages went up, the retirement wages. He told me rainbows in the sky, it started happening. I started seeing TikTok videos about that. Apparently, Brunswick, Georgia had a huge storm March 25th. I don't know how high the winds were, so that may not be the storm yet. But someone emailed me and said how crazy that storm was. They haven't seen winds like that in a long time. He told me strikes in California, lightning strikes, and that happened. I think that was on the 25th of March that happened. And he told me on March 23rd. So all of his prophecies are coming true really fast now. And I think things are going to start increasing immensely because 3 of them came true today. I just posted on my Facebook page. So if you do not know Jesus, he's coming soon. Please believe in him with all your heart. It is your faith and his grace, and he will save you. Okay, guys, God bless.